Boxing from the Great Western Forum continues. Pre-recorded. Martinez and Rivera, a couple of lightweights scheduled for 4. Next up, we've got a couple of young lightweights. They're scheduled to go 4 rounds. Mario Martinez is wearing the black trunks trimmed in blue. And in the white trunks trimmed in red is CUITLAHUAL Rivera. Neither of these two young fighters with very impressive marks. Martinez won 4-1 with 1 knockout. He's 24. And Rivera is 1-5, and he's 21. And we had quite a time with his first name, which is spelled C-U-I-T-L-A-H-U-A-C. And my broadcast partner, Rich Morata, said, let's call him Kid Rivera.
That's it.
That's good enough for me.
And the kid is landing some big bombs here in the early going. He's got Martinez in desperate trouble.
He's teeing off on him like there's no tomorrow. He's the guy in white trimmed in red. Now Martinez is trying to fight his way off the ropes and back into this. Vince Delgado, not a bad fighter himself a couple of seasons ago, busy watching both these guys, and now he'll step between them, shove them apart. Well, they came apart by themselves.
Well, Rivera really came out.
Oh, big left hand there, Rich.
And he is known, Tom, as more of a boxer. Not supposed to be a puncher, but he has come out to punch, and that's it. You're round 1.
And he has caught Martinez with some solid lefts and rights to the jaw. A couple of shots to the body might have made it a little easier, and Martinez might have gone down, but Rivera is strictly headhunting, or at least he has been in the opening minute or so of this the first round of 4.
Well, if Rivera was a big puncher, Martinez definitely would have been down by now, because he's been hit enough clean shots to knock down 5 men.
That's right. So put Kid Rivera down as a boxer. But who knows? The rate of attrition might just take care of Rivera's chances here, because he has hit Martinez with a lot of punches.
Each guy with 1 win in his record, Tom. Trying for number 2 here. Martinez, we've seen a few times here at the Great Western Forum, and he seemed to get better just about each time out. Early in his career, he was stopped in 1 round a couple times and made it to 3 rounds, and he finally got a draw, and then he got a win. So he was, kind of getting better, but he's certainly under attack here in round 1.
Nobody can question his courage, heart, and or his whiskers. He has taken some solid shots. Whether Rivera can punch all that well or not is a questionable item now, because he has certainly landed enough clean shots to the jaw to put Martinez and 2 or 3 guys like him down. But got to be a little discouraging for the kid to have hit all those, thrown all those good punches, and the other guy's still standing there throwing them back at you.
I don't think Martinez was ready. I mean, he barely got out of his corner, Tom, and before he was just under the onslaught here.
And now Rivera seems to be missing more than he's connecting. Wild shots over the head. Martinez trying to take advantage of it, trying to take over the last few seconds of this round number 1, scheduled for 4. There's the warning, 10 seconds left here in round 1, and now Martinez is coming on a bit. Pretty good fight for the opening round. We'll be back. All right, you're looking at a couple of lightweights and a very busy opening round for the 2 of them. That's Mario Martinez in the far corner. Azteca Boxing handling his fight career. He's a 24-year-old out of East Los Angeles, and he's got a record of 1-4-1, and looked for all the world, Rich Morata, like he was going down in round number 1 as Kid Rivera. He's in the white and red, really jumped all over him in the opening moment.
Well, he just stormed across the ring. I mean, look at Martinez. He barely got out of his corner, Tom. He was trying to fight back at this point, but Rivera was just dead on him and would not let him off the ropes for a good minute there. He pummeled him. But Martinez withstood. Once he got stood straight up, Tom, I thought he might topple at that point, but he managed to hang in there, and he was getting stronger as the first round came to an end.
Indeed. Out they come for round number 2. Rivera in the white trimmed in red. Martinez, who survived a very, very big first round, at least the first 2 minutes of it by Rivera, is in the black trimmed in blue. And Martinez appears that he might be picking up where he left off at the close of round 1. He had Rivera in the corner above us. Rivera busy throwing punches, but he's missing with a lot of them. These guys are lightweights, 136 pounds, 136.5 actually, and 136 3/4. That's the weigh-in. Young preliminary fighters trying to make their way in sweet science.
Martinez, as you might guess from the records here, does a lot of things wrong in the ring. he has notice that poor pawing style right hand. He will take his right foot and actually put it out in front of him and then throw the right, so he completely telegraphs the punch and throws it off balance.
Well, Rivera is no keen student of the sweet science, Rich. He's 1-5.
Right. It looks as though technique-wise he's a little better off than Martinez, however. And I actually think, Tom, at the end of round one that Rivera was welcoming the 1-minute rest. I thought he was getting a little unwary. He threw an awful lot of punches as he did out. He was not throwing with the same speed at the end of the round.
No, and he didn't have the same accuracy that went with the opening minute-and-a-half or 2-minute rush that he put on Martinez. They are forehead to forehead, and now Rivera's working to the body more in this round than he did in all of round one. Delgado steps between the two, a little slight smear of blood coming from Rivera's nose. Martinez is in the black trunks, Rivera in the white trimmed in red. Martinez trying to work to the body and bring the left hand up to the jaw.
Tom, one thing about Rivera that should be noted, this is the first fight for Rivera since November of 1992. So, you know, that's 2.5 years off. Decided to get back into it. Judged by his record, had a disappointing start in his career. He hasn't won a fight since May of '92. So almost 3 years since his lone victory.
It's almost like somebody dared him to get back into the ring after you've been gone that long with a record of 1-5, and that just couldn't turn down the dare. Either that or somebody convinced him that he may have a future in the game. Who knows? There he is in the red, in the white and red. Martinez in the black and blue. Rivera sags into the ropes there.
Martinez is making some headway here, Tom. That right hand seemed to have some effect on Rivera.
It certainly looked like it because Rivera sagged into the ropes. A reminder, Budweiser Championship Boxing's Fight Night at the Forum will be back on the prime lineup on Monday, April 10th. Join us, Budweiser Championships Fight Night at the Forum, Monday night, right here, April 10th on Prime. Over in the corner with Rivera, Kid Rivera. His name is CUITLAHUAC, spelled C-U-I-T-L-A-H-U-A-C. Fernando Paramo was telling me that that is an Indian name. I said it sounds like the whole tribe down in Mexico. That would be, he said it's an Indian name. Young man fighting out of Norwalk.
He's bleeding pretty steadily from the nose. They didn't do anything about it, Tom, in the first 30 seconds in the corner.
It's scheduled for 4, and this is round number 3. If you're keeping score, like Rich and I do here in the apron of the Great Western Forum ring, why I gave the first round to Rivera simply because he had the best of it for most of the round. I gave Martinez the second round.
And I concur.
And here's Rivera starting out in rapid-fire fashion here in round number 3, wild, but throwing a lot of punches, and Martinez right back on top of him. The fans haven't lacked for action in this one. These two guys have been very busy. Maybe not the best of fighting, but they've been busy at it. Martinez banging away pretty good to the jaw inside, Rich. There's a lot of uppercuts in there. Short punches.
Well, he's had a chance here in rounds 2 and now 3, Tom, to get himself back into the fight once again. You know, he was taken and caught cold early in the first round, and it took a good 2.5 minutes for him to get things together to where he found himself in the fight. Now he just kind of leans at the waist, leans in close, and he has a willing guy as far as being inside in Rivera. So they exchange blows, and Martinez has held his own, certainly, at the very least.
Yeah. It's forehead to forehead, and there they are right after each other. And, of course, Rivera, his white trunks are now smeared with blood. Coming from his nose, nowhere else. Martinez is nailing him with some pretty good shots with the left hand. They're a bit wild and coming from not very straight and to the mark, but they are on the mark, even though some of the power may be dissipated by the wildness of him. Martinez is just almost relentless. He won't let up on Rivera. He keeps right in front of him and keeps after him.
Well, in the other fights that we've seen him in, Tommy, even in fights in which he was outgunned by clearly superior opponents, Martinez would keep the pressure on and keep on trying. And that's what he's done here, and it's proving successful for him.
And there is a lot of blood coming from the nose of Rivera.
They really didn't attend to it.
No.
In the corner between rounds, I was surprised. It was bleeding very steadily. It was pouring right out of the nose, and they're sitting there looking.
Yeah. They kept wiping at it, but they had no cotton swabs up inside the nostrils. Such is the life of a prelim fighter. Of course, it's bleeding at such a rate that your first thought is, gee, maybe it's broken, because that's the way a broken nose reacts. It's just almost unstoppable. It's not quite at that stage, although all of the blood you see belongs to Rivera. It's all over his trunks, which is another pet peeve of mine. You know, white trunks. I owned a fighter, he'd never wear white.
Never have long hair either. No. They can go flying when you get hit with a punch.
That's right.
You don't want those judges to see that dramatic effect.
Oh no! Shave his head and put him in black trunks or dark green or something. Round 3 is coming to a close, scheduled for 4. So 3 rounds in the books. You're following Martinez back to his corner. Mario Martinez, bring you up to date, is a 24-year-old, lives in East Los Angeles. He's a lightweight, 136.5 pounds, 5'7". Rudy Vega and Pancho Lopez are the guys handling him for Azteca. His one and only victory so far came October 10th here at the Forum, when he stopped Domingo Sanchez in 4 rounds, dropped him in the 3rd, and won it in the 4th.
I tell you, when you're 0-4 in your career, that first win tastes mighty good.
Oh boy. Across the way, you're looking at CUITLAHUAL Rivera. He's had a bloody nose since round number 2, and it has bled rather profusely. Out they'll come for round number 4, 4th and final round of this opening. Oh, they forgot to put the mouthpiece in for Rivera. He'll need that. Rivera says, well, hold it just a second. I think they got it in backward.
Right. It's upside down.
So he spits it out at Vince Delgado. Now they'll throw some more. Well, now we know why they didn't bother to tend to his nose too closely, Rich. They got the mouthpiece in upside down. Which way does it fit? Now we got it. Bite down on that, Kid Rivera, and here we go again. 2 young lightweights. Martinez has been forcing the action, as did in rounds 2, and I thought for the most part in round 3. Rivera starts out with a wild first 25 or 30 seconds. He did it in round 1 and maintained it for about almost 2 minutes, and then he did again in round 2 and round 3, but I gave both of those subsequent rounds to Martinez.
He's trying now. Here's right where he has Martinez backed up is where he did his best work, but he can't sustain the same kind of attack now at this stage that he did earlier.
Nails Martinez with the solid right coming in. Martinez is not difficult to hit. He's right in front of him. There they are, forehead to forehead, but Martinez is the busier of the 2, shorter of the 2, and that probably stands him in better stead inside where this fight's been fought. Drives Rivera right back into Rivera's corner. Rivera's taller, has a longer reach, but it hasn't been to any advantage for him in rounds 2 and 3. And round 4 seems like it cut from the same mold as the previous 2. Both pretty wild, and both give you the impression we're just a little bit tired, Rich.
Yeah, those punches are a bit of a slow motion right now.
Of course, I don't know of any sport that is more enervating than the one these 2 guys are engaged in. I mean, the energy just and the strength just runs out of every pore in your body.
You know, just try dancing around and holding your arms up for 3 minutes.
That's right.
It's not too easy.
Oh, no. And then, of course, the adrenaline that flows. You're involved in something very physical and very demanding. It's filled with pain and punishment.
Well, it's a tough way to make a living, especially for these two.
It really is. Martinez is relentless. He's right all over Rivera. Won't let him get away for more than a split second. Rivera backed against the ropes above us. I don't think either man has got enough left to knock the other guy out. Martinez is very busy. Rivera trying to keep him at long range now and uses reach to an advantage. Pretty good right hand by Rivera. There's the bell. All right, a busy action type of affair for these two young lightweights. And we'll be back to see about the decision as you look at Martinez in his corner. I don't know about what he might have won this one. We'll see what the judges say.
Center, Jones Intercable, the sports animal, and KRSD present the original Tough Man, Tough Woman contest, and wimps need not apply. Tough guys and tough guys.
Jimmy Lennon Jr., fan ring announcer, has the call. Jimmy, if you will.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Chuck Hassett, scores it 38-38, even a draw. Jack Campbell and Dick Young both agree, scoring the bout at 39-37 in favor of the winner, Mario Martinez.
Well, we had a 38-38 draw, and I think, Rich, the other two judges scored it the way you and I had it.
No, I had it 38-38.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I gave it to Martinez. I gave him 3 rounds to 1. Well, all right. Well, Martinez now is 2-5, so his career is picking up a bit. We'll be back with a final thought or two after we pause for this message.